Green Bay Packers Nation, how's it going? This is Brody, and we need to talk about a situation that could reshape our running back room. With Josh Jacobs facing a serious legal issue, the uncertainty surrounding his status has left the Packers looking over their shoulders, and they may need to dive into the trade market sooner than expected. Before we dive into this, tell me where you're watching from and what you think about this situation. Are you confident in Marshawn Lloyd stepping up? Or do you think we should be making a move? We're building this community toward 5,000 subscribers, so please subscribe and help us reach that milestone. Now, with Jacobs' situation hanging in the balance, the Packers could soon find themselves seeking additional running back talent. The free agent market is slim pickings right now, but some intriguing trade candidates could be on the table for General Manager Brian Gutekunst. One name that stands out is Arizona Cardinals running back Tyler Allgeier. After signing a 2-year, $12.25 million deal, Allgeier's future in Arizona has become cloudy, especially after the Cardinals drafted Jeremiah Love in the first round. With James Conner also on the roster, the Cardinals have enough depth to consider moving on from Allgeier, which would free up some cap space for them. However, it's a tough ask for the Packers, as Allgeier's contract isn't exactly a burden for Arizona, and they might demand significant compensation in return. Allgeier has shown promise throughout his career, even if he found himself as a backup in Atlanta due to Bijan Robinson's arrival. He's averaged 3.27 yards after contact per attempt and has a solid breakaway rate of 22.7%. With a career average of 4.3 yards per carry and 8 touchdowns last season, he could be a perfect fit for us, whether as a backup or a starter if Jacobs' situation worsens. On the other hand, the New York Giants' Tyrone Tracy Jr. could be a more cost-effective option. Rumors suggest he might be waived, and with the Giants' depth at running back, he may not have a spot. Tracy's efficiency numbers are respectable, showing potential with 839 yards as a rookie and maintaining solid averages in his second season. Plus, he can contribute in the passing game and on special teams, making him a versatile addition. Given his contract status and age, he'd likely come at a low price, presenting a strong opportunity for the Packers to develop him further. However, if Green Bay is looking for a quick fix, there's also James Conner, but there's a risk attached to that. At 31 years old, Conner struggled with injuries last season and his performance took a hit. While he could provide stability, the ceiling might not be as high as we'd like, and his salary could be a concern, especially if we're considering a long-term strategy. Lastly, we can't overlook Chuba Hubbard from the Carolina Panthers. While he may not be a standout, he's had productive moments, including over 1,300 scrimmage yards last season. However, with the Panthers' current depth, they might be willing to move on from him, though his $6 million salary could deter the Packers unless Jacobs is officially released. This running back situation is heating up, and it's clear that the Packers need to weigh their options carefully. As the season approaches, the choices they make could define our chances moving forward. Now, let's keep the momentum going and see what's next on the agenda. And this situation becomes even more significant when we consider the decision to stick with Jacob Monk as the starting right guard as the Green Bay Packers gear up for the 2026 regular season. Despite having a disappointing trajectory in his career, Monk has seemingly locked in this role, even with rookie 5th-round pick Yeager Burton showcasing superior performance in the preseason, particularly in pass protection. So why does this matter for the Packers? Well, it raises serious concerns about the coaching staff's evaluation process. While Monk has been named the starter, it's worth noting that his path to this position was largely shaped by circumstance. With veterans Aaron Banks and Zach Bacobawil sidelined due to injuries, Burton was shuffled to left guard, and in their absence, Monk was given the opportunity to step in. Now that both veterans are back, Monk remains the entrenched starter, while Burton has been relegated to backup duties. The immediate impact of this decision is clear. Monk's established role at right guard means the Packers are banking on his physicality in the run game. Head coach Matt LaFleur has praised Monk's mentality, calling him tough and highlighting his improvement over time. However, Monk's past performance tells a different story. His PFF grades show concerning numbers, especially in pass protection, where he struggled with a 38.8 grade. This is particularly alarming when you consider the importance of protecting quarterback Jordan Love, who needs a solid line to thrive. Looking at the long-term consequences, the Packers' history of offensive line decisions raises red flags. Remember when they opted for Lane Taylor over Elgton Jenkins or Billy Turner over Josh Nijman? Those choices haven't aged well, and there's a palpable risk that the coaching staff could be making a similar miscalculation with Monk. The The situation is compounded by the fact that Burton's competition for the right guard slot has been hampered by roster logistics rather than a fair evaluation of talent. The strongest argument in favor of Monk remains his run-blocking ability, which aligns well with the Packers' scheme under LaFleur. Offensive coordinator Adam Stenavich has praised Monk's aggressive play style, but that doesn't overshadow the glaring issue of pass protection, which is crucial for the success of Love and the overall offense. Critics might argue that this decision reflects a lack of thorough assessment from the coaching staff, as Burton had been given snaps at right guard before training camp, but was then shifted to left guard without a true competition taking place. This raises the question, are the Packers truly putting the best 5 offensive linemen on the field, or are they simply going with the player who's had the most time in the role due to injuries? As we move forward, it's clear that this decision will be under scrutiny. How Monk performs in the regular season could determine the trajectory of the Packers' offense. Up next, we'll dive into another aspect of the team's preparations for the upcoming season. While we've seen some promising developments for the Green Bay Packers this preseason, there's a cloud looming over the quarterback situation following joint practices with the Arizona Cardinals. Micah Parsons recently voiced his displeasure over Jordan Love's ranking in the NFL Top 100 list, where Love was placed at 72nd. But after the recent practice, it seems Parsons might have to reconsider his defense of Love. In that joint practice, Love had a rough outing against the Cardinals, a team many consider one of the worst in the league. The Cardinals even released a 16-second clip showcasing a series of interceptions thrown by Love, and he was unfortunately responsible for 2 of them. This performance is concerning, especially with the season opener against the Minnesota Vikings just around the corner. Now, why does this matter for the Green Bay Packers? With Love stepping into the starting role following Aaron Rodgers' departure, the expectations are sky high. The Packers have struggled to make their mark in the NFC, and a strong showing from Love is crucial for restoring faith in this team. However, these interception issues highlight a significant challenge that could derail the Packers' plans right out of the gate. The immediate impact here is clear. If Love cannot establish consistency, the Packers risk stumbling out of the blocks this season. The long-term consequence could be even more severe. A rocky start might not only affect the team's confidence, but also lead to questioning whether Love is truly the franchise quarterback the Packers need. On the flip side, one could argue that this practice session is just a blip on the radar. Love has shown flashes of potential, and it's possible that these struggles could provide invaluable experience as he navigates his first full season as a starter. It's essential to remember that even the best quarterbacks have rough days at the office. But let's address the elephant in the room. This isn't the first time Parsons' outspoken nature has backfired. His staunch defense of Love may now seem misplaced, especially after witnessing these struggles against a team that's not exactly known for its defensive prowess. In my honest opinion, the pressure is mounting for Love as he tries to not only prove himself, but also justify the faith that Parsons and others have placed in him. It's a pivotal moment for the Packers as they strive to escape the shadows of their past and carve out a new identity. As we wrap up this discussion, it's clear that Jordan Love's performance in the coming weeks will be critical for the Packers' direction. Can he rise to the occasion and silence the critics? I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you believe Love can turn things around before the regular season kicks off? And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to help us grow this community as we aim for 5,000 subscribers. Your support means everything.